Time to take a look at stories making the headlines in Nigerian newspapers. Joining me now is journalist Dari Udufo and in-house analyst Obani Akinwale. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
All right, let's head straight to the papers now. And I begin with the Daily Times. National Assembly wades into killings by SARS. You find the story on the front page of the Daily Times. Right, we move to the front page of the national economy. Maersk Line begins direct container shipping from China to Onitsha. Federal government to boost transportation trade with $3.02 billion. Port Harcourt to Maiduguri railway project. And on the front page of the leadership newspaper, Ahmed Nuhu Bamali emerges Emir of Zazzau. President Muhammadu Buhari, Lawan, Northern Governors, Atiku, others congratulate new royal father. To the front page of the blueprint, how ex-envoy Bamali emerged Emir of Zazzau. New Emir first from Malawa ruling house in 100 years. Frontline contenders, Jafaru calms supporters, be leaders of all. Buhari charges monarch, Northern Governors Atiku, Lawan congratulate Bamali, Tinubu Lords El-Rufai. And also that same story you can find on the front page of the Daily Trust, how Bamali emerged as the Emir of Zazzau. Contenders congratulate new monarch, Buhari Governors Hill appointment. And finally, on the front page of the News Direct, Senate orders probe of banks over illicit excessive charges, passes 2021-2023. MTEF FSP advocates merger of agencies, cautions federal government on borrowing to fund projects. But then we'll be looking at the story on the front page of the Daily Times, talking about the National Assembly wading into killings by SARS. Huge condemnation over since the weekend had trailed activities of SARS. We see a lot of Nigerians reacting. There's been protests and cancelled protests. Some are still going to protest today. And we've seen responses from what has been going on, especially on social media, responses that we have never seen before. And the Inspector General of Police has promised to dismiss erring officers because he's asking for their reports to be brought to their table, and anyone found culpable will be dismissed and then prosecuted. And the question is, why wait till now? Because this is not the first time Nigerians are reacting to the activities of SARS. I'll start with you, Dari.
Yeah, well, I'll take it from where you say, why wait till now? And I'll add that the kind of responses we've been having the last 1 week are such that we've been having before. It's just that it's occasional. Whenever we have a killing, we react, we make noise. We state protest. We want SARS to end that very moment. But after a while, some promises are made here and there. No meaningful reform made. No cogent corrections effected. Nothing to really show that it
So
won't
you think this time
again.
around nothing different is going to happen?
I hope it won't be business as usual. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
To say we've not seen this kind of reactions before is to try to be patronizing.
Really?
We have seen it.
From
Even
the Senate?
from everybody.
From
I remember
governors?
the seventh National Assembly.
And the Inspector General of
Yes.
Police asking that their reports be brought to
I
the table
remember
now.
very well that the 7th National Assembly probed SARS. But what came of it? Nothing came out of it. What I am saying is, it is good that we are seeing this reaction. I am impressed with the Inspector General of Police. He has not only spoken, he has read out directives, how it should be done. In the past, the IG will just say, we do this. But this fellow here is saying, this is how I want you to, he is stating it state by state, how he wants these reforms to be done. Now, we are going to move to the stage
But some
of...
persons have also accused him of the fact that there were some recommendations made when he came in for the FSAS
And he didn't do anything
threw it
about
out.
it.
Now we're
That's talking about implementation. That's the stage we are moving to again. Beautiful proposals, nice renditions, Now, let's see how this will be implemented. Until we implement reform suggestions, proposals and reports properly to the letter, it goes beyond saying we have dismissed the concerned officers. When you dismiss a man trained to bear arms into the society, you are encouraging criminality. Right. Let us ensure that we are reforming them. Reform the individual, reform the system.
We'll come to what you mean by reforming them, because it seems it means different things to different people. But let's get Obani Akinwale's reaction to this now. The National Assembly is saying that scrapping FSARS at this point may not be the best option, but Nigerians are saying otherwise.
Let me start by saying I am not sure whether I subscribe to the agitation for reform of SARS.
Really?
And why I will say I will not subscribe to it is based on two principles.
All right.
First, there is something called rule of engagement for police officers. Second, there is what they call policy documents and a performance indicator for police affairs ministry. Now, for every SARS officer that carry gun, either in Lagos or in Abuja or anywhere, as somebody they report to, they have a record of their activity. And there is a rule of engagement before they were being sent out to carry out any activity. I can't just come to TVC and say, cameraman, go to channels. It won't fly because it doesn't take order from there. So it's the same way that we ask ourselves, what is the key performance indicator for commissioner of police, for head of tactical operations, even what is the rule of engagement for SARS? Laws are available in abundance in Nigeria. But when it comes to how to create another way, they will call it reform. National Assembly want to do it again, they will reform. After 1 year, another National Assembly will come again and said, we want to reform. The office of AGF will say, okay, we want to reform. What is our recruitment process? How do you, I saw some pictures online and you find it very, very funny. Funny in such a way that you see a police officer dressing like a gangster. You see them wearing the pajamas of a cameraman, putting on Panama cap, and you ask yourself, are these law enforcement agents or they are lawbreakers? That is one. Two, what is the procedure of training our police officers in different days? You go to police college anywhere, after 6 months, you come out and start carrying gun. Then, in Nigeria today, the best way to make money is to be in control. And there are two ways you can be in control. Either you are in control by being a political appointee or being controlled by carrying gun. You know that you will not find regular police having this issue of maltreating, but every SARS officer are well equipped with whether with electric shock and what have you.
So now their guns are going to be withdrawn, so, and whatever activity that they engage in that is perhaps human rights abuse in nature, the Commissioner of Police will be held culpable.
You can imagine somebody
is that going to ensure the transparency and accountability that Nigerians are seeking?
Where is transparency? Where is accountability? Is anybody in government, either the police commissioner, the IGP, the president, is anybody accountable to anybody? That's why I said there are enough laws in this country to attack all these things. But what we have always have is that people will always allow the law to work in their favor. And again, National Assembly have always said this. Sorry, 1 minute. They always like headline grabbing. And the headline grabbing now is that what is trending on social media is SARS. And for us also to be trending as National Assembly, let us also say we are reforming SARS. Which is not. There are pertinent issues in this country that we need to face, not National Assembly.
This isn't?
We
have to leave the conversation here.
I think we should understand the fact that the issue with SARS is very important.
Of course.
And because it has to do with human lives.
Right.
Human rights abuses is as important as
any other thing.
And
absolutely,
the National Assembly getting involved is good for all of us.
All right,
what I would just say is that beyond scrapping SARS, let us do more than just face value changes.
And we hope that is what the National Assembly will achieve at the end of the day. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time on the newspaper review this morning. Well, you're watching TVC Breakfast and we're streaming live on YouTube. You can connect with us on Twitter using the hashtag. Let's quickly turn our attention to the papers and see what we can quickly do with the limited time that we have. From the front page of the Daily Times, National Assembly wades into killings by SARS. And we quickly move to the national economy. Maersk Line begins direct container shipping from China to Onitsha. And on the front page of the Leadership newspaper, Ahmed Nuhu Bamali emerges Emir of Zazzau. PMB, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, Lawan, Northern Governors, Atiku, others congratulate new royal father. And to the front page of the Blueprint, how ex-envoy Bamali emerged Emir of Zazzau, new Emir first from Malawa ruling house in 100 years. And still talking about the emergence of new Emir of Zazzau, contenders congratulate the new monarch. That story on the front page of the Daily Trust. And then finally on the front page of the News Direct, it says Senate others probe of banks over illicit excessive charges. Passes 2021-2023 MTEF FSP advocates merger of agencies, cautions federal government to fund projects. Gentlemen, just your reaction to this headline on the front page of the News Direct, because we have limited time, talking about the probe of banks over illicit excessive charges. I'll start with you, Dari. We have very limited time here.
Yeah, well, we've passed that road before. That's what I would say. The Senate, the House of Reps, the National Assembly generally, government even, calling banks to order, probing them, urging them to stop illicit charges. But nothing has changed. I just hope that this time around, some more seriousness will be injected into implementing this much needed change. Because banks, if you look at it, excessive charges, charges that you cannot explain, double charges, giving new names. So it's a good development if they will see this through. It's a fantastic development.
Obani, your thoughts now, because some persons have questioned the sincerity of the CBN to addressing this issue.
I'm surprised that the headline says Senate orders probe of banks when they are already laws establishing those banks. In my local language, they call bank Ile Ifowopamosi, that you go there to keep your money. Now it is now become Ile Ijeowo, because when you put your money there, you get maintenance this, maintenance that, debit this. They ask us to stop going for bank to do cash, we should do online. They debit you in a day. You will get several deductions, and you ask yourself, is bank keeping your money for you, or they are helping you to spend your money? So for Senate to say they are ordering probe, you don't need to probe anything. There are laws established CBN. There are laws established these commercial banks. If they run and violate those laws, let them be sanctioned. We don't need to probe anything, because they are. So that's why I said, what are our processes? Who is even marking the CBN governor's KPI? Oh, you have done this in terms of a regulator. But what they do now is that banks have become business. So the consumer will continue to suffer. So for me, I don't see anything the probe will achieve, because bank has become a source of taking our hard-earned cash to ensure that the big boys will continue to feed fat.
All right, we'll leave the conversation here now. Obani Akinwale, Dario Dufowoko. Gentlemen, thank you for your time on the program this morning.